As another season is all set to start on the ATP World Tour, the tennis world remains in awe of a remarkable campaign last time out. In 2015, Novak Djokovic recorded one of the greatest seasons of all time. The Serb compiled a jaw-dropping 82-6 win-loss record. Victorious at 3 of the 4 Grand Slams, in total Djokovic won 11 ATP World Tour titles, including a 5th Barclays ATP World Tour Finals crown, and a record 6 ATP Masters 1000 titles in a season. He finished as the year-end at #1 for a 4th time in 5 years.
I mean, I haven't lost too many matches, and then obviously that allowed me to, winning the big events, 3 out of 4 Grand Slams and 6 Master Series events. It's a lot of points and puts me ahead of my rivals. Obviously every year one of my goals is to reach those biggest heights at the biggest events. I aim for that. I try to peak at the right moment.
It's a special feat when an individual's success stands out quite like Djokovic's did. But there have been other times when one player has lit up a season on the ATP World Tour. In February 2013, Rafael Nadal was on the comeback trail following an injury-plagued 2012. What followed was a staggering campaign, where the Spanish legend won 10 ATP World Tour titles, including victory at both Roland Garros and the US Open. Nadal also climbed back to the top of the Emirates ATP rankings in October 2013, before going on to finish the season as year-end at #1.
During the year, since the beginning, I started playing the game, feeling myself competitive, and then the level has been improved during the months. Probably at the end, it's one of the best seasons of my career.
One of the few men who can lay claim to a season close to Djokovic's 2015 is Novak himself. In 2011, the Serb broke the dominance of Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal to make his own history. He began with a 41 match-winning streak and reached world #1 for the first time in his career. Djokovic won the Australian Open, Wimbledon and the US Open, amassing 10 calendar year trophies, as he finished 2011 top of the Emirates ATP rankings. Roger Federer has had many scintillating seasons, but 2006 is arguably his best. 10 years ago, the Swiss maestro reached all 4 Grand Slam finals, winning 3 of them. In total, he lifted 12 ATP World Tour titles, amassing an outrageous 92-5 win-loss record. He finished the year in style, with glory at the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals, and topped the Emirates ATP rankings.
Absolute perfection from Federer.
I feel like I was improving every single week. I had unbelievable support from the beginning, and I felt like I had incredibly good coaching throughout my career. I'm very fortunate to have had such great people around me.
Back in 1995, and another man lifted 12 ATP World Tour titles in one campaign. Austria's Thomas Muster recorded a season which places him as one of the all-time kings of clay. Muster won 40 consecutive matches on the surface, with 11 of his tournament wins coming on the red dirt, including the French Open.
I really enjoyed what I did. I mean, I will never regret anything I did. And that decision to become a tennis professional was the best decision I've ever made. There's a wish, there's a dream, and sometimes there's success. Just gotta believe in it.
1 year before that, and another of the game's legends had perhaps his best ever season. Pete Sampras won 10 ATP World Tour titles in 1994, lifting both the Australian Open and Wimbledon crowns, as the American found success on all surfaces, before he finished the year as world #1 for a second straight campaign.
There's only a few of us around. There's only a few guys that really, you have great players and you have major winners, but when you have the guys that really stay on top of the game for not just a year or two, but for 4, 5, 6 years, it's just a different breed.
They are some of the most remarkable performances in the history of tennis. The stellar seasons of the past will always be remembered, and they provide the perfect inspiration as 2016 gets underway.